What's up, guys? This is the Rifleman, and I am back to bring you to the next episode of my Empire Total War Let's Play as the Maratha Confederacy. And to pick up where we left off, despite my best efforts, we are actually going to be charged, or attacked rather, by this Dutch force. However, it's mostly pikemen and cavalry. The reinforcing army does bring in some extra infantry, but not enough for us to really be bothered. So let's get to it. So the plan will be to try and defend as much as we can, to try and minimize our losses, and then we're probably going to try and pull out until we can bring another army in to bolster our forces, because I fear we may get overwhelmed if we stay here. What a delicious bit of terrain. So because they have no guns and I have Boku guns, I definitely want to use that. And these Caribbean maps are always beautiful to face, or beautiful to fight on rather, when you've got good artillery, because they can be really quite smooth. Can it stretch these guys out a little bit more? Stretching you guys out. Drop this other gun team, which has no experience because it's been brought up from India. They haven't had a chance to be bloodied in action yet. Something like that. Then behind each major block, put a melee unit to try and deal with any countercharge. Well, to countercharge rather than deal with countercharges. We will be countercharging. Get the lancers on each flank ready to roll. General in the center under the trees. Cool. Let's roll. We're going to want our guns to focus on enemy cavalry first. No hits. No hits for either set, it looks like. Well, let's advance time just because we are waiting for them to come towards us. Actually, I think you're better off. No, those cavalrymen are in decent cover, so we might focus fire these units here with both of our batteries. Also advance our line up to anchor up against this rock face. Guns are fired. Any better luck? Nope, not a Scooby. Here comes enemy reinforcements. They are coming in slowly from a long way off. All we're going to be interested in is forcing the enemy back. We're not overly bothered about trying to kill every single last one of them. First kills. Let's commit. We'll bring my cavalry back. Actually, I'll just let this play out. Don't know why I'm speeding it up. Let's get my right-hand battery to aim at that unit to get some enfilade action going on. Might be able to get a bunch of kills. Okay, a couple of guns are going to get ready to fire. Few kills. 5 kills. There's 2 more guns left to shoot. Yeah, it's another 13 kills. Plus this unit's also been ripped up. Excellent. The other cavalry is running in. I can see them coming in. Let's just rebalance the line. There we go, they're in range for canister shot. Get a volley off and then I'll drop you into square. Very good. They might collide into us just before we form square, but we still will get into square, even if it's disrupted. Okay, infantry, or gunners here rather. Engage. There we go. Just a sturdy defense. Plus the melee troops provides all of the destruction we need. Not ever so worried about getting our lancers committed. Any guns loaded? No, not in time. Charge in. These units can get out of square for the time being. Some of the enemy cav has survived, however, they're going to be severely weakened, and my infantry, when it fully reloads, is going to be able to get some really good kills. Aim at this unit of buccaneers. Bring the cav up on the left. Get my lancers in to engage the enemy provincial cav that's trying to work its way around the flank. We've landed one charge off. Second one from a slightly different angle. We're doing good work. Bayonet charge the pikemen. Charging the cavalry. Gunners are bravely going to charge the cavalry's going to bravely charge the guns. We got one of their stuff. Send in the melee troops just to try and chase them away. Cavalry, get up here. Cavalry, withdraw. That pike unit should go down. Need to get my melee troops up to help us deal with these pike units. Okay, my cavalry never really got committed on the right because I was too slow. Keep blasting the pikemen. Right now we're keeping them distracted. They're not able to actually charge us. So we're going to charge my lancers into the pikemen, just to make them commit. Then these tribesmen can try and outflank. We're cutting down these colonial pikemen. Very good. Lancers are going down fast, but so are their pikemen. Excellent. Bring my melee troops back. Okay, so we've got some reinforcements coming in still. The next wave. So even though our force might be depleted, it's still actually in a relatively good nick. Switch to round shot. Engage the colonial pikemen. Okay, now you guys just fall back. Don't kill the rest of the pikemen. We need you guys somewhat healthy. Ammunition state's generally pretty good. Bolster the right flank with my melee troops. I don't want to take cover behind the wall. Okay, let's move the line up. Just so we can more adequately provide extra fire support. Get my general up to the front lines. They can fire over their enemies' heads. This is one batch of reinforcements to destroy, and there's another batch, and another batch. And let's speed up time because right now not much is happening. Pikemen, Buccaneers. The arquebusiers are going to get into some hot water. Let's bring my lancers up to get ready to charge them and just knock them out of the action quickly. The volley's landed, so ceasefire. Kill the civilian arquebusier. Let's bring them back just because everybody's still kind of safe. Warrior wheels back on. We're going to get a few kills as they retreat in front of our line. It looks like the rest of their army is actually withdrawing. Well, falling back. They're not withdrawing. Because they are on the offensive, unless they're going to decide to not attack me. I'd wager they are going to hold and see what happens. Okay, keep focusing on attacking the enemy cav in the distance, just because it's their general. But yeah, it looks like... Well, I'm curious to see what happens when these three units form the line. Will they then advance as one coherent unit? Otherwise it would make these chaps tired. Their cohesion is terrible. Cohesion terrible, cohesion terrible. It'll probably get better once they have a bit of a rest and their flanks get secured. There we go. Just keep popping off shots at the provincial cavalry to the rear for the moment with my artillery, but for the most part, what have we got? Pikemen, pikemen, buccaneers, buccaneers, pikemen, pikemen. This is a melee brawl going on right now. As right now we are just blowing the bejesus out of these troops. Let's just let timer go down pretty rapidly and speed up time. A proper early century conflict right now. We're not far off from being in range. There you go. Aim at the large unit of buccaneers. Ooh, exceptional hits there. Actually aim for the centre. Engage the buccaneers just because they are close. Good hits. These chaps are going to get into a bit of hot water here with the musketry from my left flank. Not a great series of hits. Let's bring the cavalry and the melee troops in. Okay, switch fire towards these pike units. Enemy cav has withdrawn. Hacking open the buccaneers. Let's just right click, let's not charge, let's just tap into the back of them. Boop. Bring the melee troops up towards the pikemen. Fire at will. Very uninspiring volley there. All those muskets, we only got one kill. That's more like it. Pivot this infantry unit just to make sure it doesn't fire into the back of that unit there. Fall back, we're going to get caught out on that flank. You brave, brave cavalrymen. They're going down fast. Okay, we are doing good work. All the guns, switch to round shot, engage that enemy general unit. Pummel them. Countercharge. Hit them. We're not worried about their general's unit, it's not committing. Ah, these units have come back. Making good progress. Killed a bunch more of their cavalry. That's a whiff. Okay, let's actually get a bit more of my cavalry committed right now. This unit's becoming quite experienced, this tribesman unit. Guns are already whiffing their shots over the provincial curve. Charge them with my Hindu warriors. I mean, I could get everybody a lot more involved than they currently are, but why worry about it? Going down. Get my gunners to sweep this pikeman unit with canister shot. Go, good kills. Go for the Colonial pikeman unit with this unit instead. Excellent. Killed the enemy general's unit. We're not bothered about him anymore. Ceasefire the artillery. Let's just mop up the rest. Kill the buccaneers. Work on this Colonial pike unit, because I think most of the units that are near the edge of the map are going to successfully retreat. You're possible. Enemy well, my general's on an elephant, so I'm not going to send him to pursue. He's being chopped up. There's a few more here. We're still going to pull them out though, because I don't think... I think follow-on attack would be quite dangerous. We lost one of our cav units. They broke from exhaustion. Just pursue. Try kill them. I don't mind if my units rout. Victory is ours. Yes. But I think we've still taken enough damage, it's worth pulling back. So I do not want to get into too much trouble. Let's see, there we go. Oh, that's a lot of kills. I mean, we could potentially hold, but I don't want to risk it. I don't want to risk the destruction of an army. Especially when we've got the ability to pull it out right there. God, look at that navy. Nice work, Ottomans. If only I had such luck as you in the navy. Right. See what we've got to play with. Naval shore facilities. Give us a new dockyard. It does. Dockyard, yes. New town emerges in Berar. Give you a craft workshop. Keep upgrading. If we exempt you from tax... Well, no, actually, we don't have to worry about exempting you from tax. Because we don't need this army yet. That's a bit spooky. Curious to know where they're going to go. Get this army aboard ship. Get them into Trinidad and Tobago. Embark the army. Reinforce. Let's get a new dockyard here as well. As we convert these islands, we can continue the drive westward. Probably get the Jebecs back to a safe harbour. I don't want to trigger this navy into misbehaving. We're badly beaten up. If I had a decent fleet, I could have gone after it. Meanwhile, over here at Mysore, you're now ready. Go. Something like not. Don't want too many Gurkhas. You guys can be ready to seed later armies. Just about handle us not being here, but I still might recruit a couple of native militia as a garrison, just as a bit of a edge. Apart from that, though, I don't think there's anything realistically we can do. Apart from generate yet more armies. Nothing to spend the money on. Let's recruit a sloop so we can move this force into action. Also got this force, but I don't want to leave this I don't want to leave the south unprotected. Works on striking the Windward Islands. Not anymore, they're not. Can't upgrade any of the roads. I mean, the Brits might go for South America here, but a risk we're going to have to take. I do have my eyes on Jamaica. So once we take Punda, we'll take Jamaica and Nassau. Well, I probably will land it in Newfoundland and try and drive on Quebec. That's probably going to be the route we're going to take. In terms of schools, a couple of technologies are on the horizon. Immediate. I do want to check out. Fairly sure. Yeah, so even though I'm going to upgrade, in general, upgrade everything to the next level artillery building, I am going to keep one as a cannon foundry because it at least allows us to build these basic guns. I don't mind in general mass upgrading and progressing up the ladder. I don't want to do it at the cost of overall fighting prowess. So let's get cranking through some turns. Ooh, they don't know where to go. They're probably going to come after us somewhere in India. Oh, interesting. The French are landing an invasion with 4 units. Curious to see how well that works. Move my defending army east just in case they try and land and try and capture one of my cities. Potentially move the garrison up near Bengal as well. Bengal's another quite common target for other nations in Empire Total War. I mean, particularly Britain, but lots of countries like going after Bengal specifically. Farming estates in Ahmednagar, good. Hyderabad's got some guns. Okay, so up here. I move you here. May as well buy the Admiralty because I've nothing else to spend the money on. Because Cuttack doesn't have a port, when this army gets full movement, it'd be able to respond to attacks on either of those cities. Bring you over. Bellary. Oh no, Bellari's the port. And after that. Oh no, there is still a... No, sorry, Bellari's the town. Good, I'll be able to build a magistrate. I actually might build a happiness building. Try and really deal with this unrest. New nation arises, Courland. I can't trade with them or do anything with them because they have no access to sea. Train. Zaporizhian Sich. Not at war with anybody. They're doing just fine. Spies are doing good work. But we are still just replenishing over here, so not a huge amount that we can do. One more turn till we get improved volley fire. Increases our marksmanship and speeds up our reload time. That's pretty good. Because I do need to build a naval board to make sure I am the next level technologies. Okay, let's hit end turn. We've landed to try and take Katak. Well, it's going to be a swift auto-resolve, but that poor force they've sent into the jaws of hell is very unfortunately going to be wiped from the face of the earth. But I'd like to think we will eventually get to a point where we, like other campaigns, I'll have to be more selective where I make my investments, because right now I'm building quite a large treasury, but that doesn't necessarily translate into wanting to build a large army, because then I'll soon swing negative, and that's very bad. I don't want to start running at a deficit, because then that can be quite hard to get out of. I'm still earning about 20,000 a turn. I can't remember where I go. Try and go into Paris. Why the hell not? Alliance broken between Austria and Venice and the United Provinces. So who do they declare war on? So we've got a new research volley fire. They've gone straight onto military syllabus, which is good. Because military syllabus is another tech we need to research or to build the drill school, which looks like it might get us some really cool new units. We'll need to get long rifles after that, but we're also getting light infantry tactics, which will further improve our marksmanship. New town emerges in Nerun, or Nerun province. Sind province, I suppose, actually is the proper way to say it. A couple of ancillaries gained. Yeah, war between the Ottomans and Austria. Austria lost a few allies there. Lots of upgrades across the board, and yes, we've lost the ability to build the bigger guns. We've got some smaller batteries that we can use to support the battle line, but I do like having that extra range. But we will experiment.
Your Majesty.
Kill. So they're all civilian occupiers.
हम जीत गए जवानों आगे बढ़ो
Good work, gang. Gang cap. Under artillery. I mean, I'll get one just so we can support the battle line. That's like a close support gun. The rest can be a bit more flexible. Okay, there we go.
Your Majesty.
Goes into Barcalore. Over to the Americas. Excellent.
आपके आदेश, Your Majesty. Sir, आपके आदेश.
Let's bring 2 guns across to here. Bring 1 gun over to this existing force of Gurkhas.
Me lord.
Let's get an Afghan hillman, Afghan infantry. They're both light infantry, but they're a bit different. Let's 2 basic cav units. Let's get a Polygar unit and a Barawadi. Let's get a mixture of infantry again.
तैयार हो जाओ.
Preemptively recruit a sloop, because once this army is more established, we can move. Well, you can already start moving west, because we know that the French threat has been dealt with. Unit recruited. War elephants in Mysore. Bai still doing good work in Esfahan. Back over in the Americas, my armies are replenished. I move you out.
तैयार हो जाओ. आगे बढ़ो.
Yes, I can. Good. So, yeah, this army aboard ship.
नौका पे चलो
Take these Jebeks. Blockade the port again.
अरे अरे सर
Yes, sir.
You can't actually get to the ship.
हाँ कप्तान अगले आदेश का इंतजार
Wasn't quite the maneuver I wanted them to do, but they've still got the range to get to Punda. We know they can reach us on this island.
जहाज आदेश
So let's deposit
नौका के पास अगले आदेश का इंतजार है
the ships.
अरे सर
Got a tidy little fleet right there, but I can't do anything about it.
अरे सर
Stay near the
चलो
Jebeks.
तैयार
Don't think I'd be able to win that engagement because my naval... I mean, you guys are going to be much better at naval fighting than I am.
सर
You'd probably be able to expertly maneuver these Jebeks, but I certainly cannot. But next turn we'll be able to blockade Punda, destroy the force in the dockyard, and then attack the city itself. Then we'll be able to replenish and focus on Jamaica and Nassau and add more trade goods. Punda right now has got a high yield sugar plantation, and sugar is towards the bottom end of value. Cotton's still up there. So's tobacco. But we won't get any of those from the colonies we're about to take over. See, goes on. Yes, okay, so I don't want... Sorry, boys.
बचाओ
Entire fleet destroyed.
देशद्रोह पैदल सेना पैदल सेना
Not a bad outcome, though. Not a terrible outcome, I should say. We do still have Boku troops on the island, so we are going to be able to capture them and expand our economy. Well, the Ottomans, with their human wave tactics at sea, is still as active as ever. I do want to get a navy, but I don't really want to do it with low quality ships because I don't really want to get them in the mass you need to be able to have an effect. Like having a couple, I get, but I don't necessarily want an entire army, or entire fleet rather, of Jebeks. I'd much rather use a land-based deterrent system to deal with having the lack of a navy. 19,000 is our current income still. That's a point. I haven't done anything with my policies. Let's do this. That will impact our income, but we are an absolute monarchy, so about 1,000 tax income we lost. But it just helps us gain a bit more control, although somebody in government's about to make them very cross. Fleet destroyed, fleet destroyed. Recruitment report.
आपके आदेश योर मैजेस्टी
Okay.
जहाज आदेश
बिल्कुल
कप्तान
तैयार
Ah, you're not there yet.
सर
Let's let the recruitment tick on. Antigua, get some magistrates. Let's get that upgraded to a governor's residence. Kashmir, your craft workshop upgraded to a weaver's cottage. They're still very upset, and we are chipping away at these other religions, but cultural unrest 9, and Hindu Indians are now the majority. There's some upset here. Still 5 cultural unrest here in Lahore. Got 1 native militia. Meanwhile, over in the Americas,
आपका विनम्र सेवक
lay siege to Punda.
घेरा डालना जारी योर मैजेस्टी युद्ध का बिगुल बजा दो
You're both laying siege.
सुअर
The
बाड़े
city.
में सड़ रहे हैं
There we go. Because I'm laying siege to the city, the garrison cannot help in the fight. However, the sieging army can help me, but I'm not going to need them because this is a pretty... what's was about to say pitiful. Not pitiful, but very brittle. Lots of provincial cav, and we do know provincial cav is actually quite good, but being all provincial cav is not good. Most ungood. Should be fine. Okay, let's get into the fight. I mean, again, I'm tempted, because they've got a lot of cavalry, just to let them come at us. They have no artillery, so they'll have to counter us or come towards us in the event. Let's destroy their cavalry forces with our musketry. Then we will advance into their infantry forces. Afghan infantry looking pretty dope. Let's check out the Afghan hillmen. Yeah, these looks similar to the Kurdish hillmen in Empire Darthmod. Cool. Let's split my cavalry up, including my elephants. Keep both my melee units by the guns. Yes, they have to come at us. They have no artillery. Oh my god, our first shot. We hurt their general pretty bad. We got some good kills on their provincial cav. As it's going to take a bit of time for them to head our way, let's just let it happen. Excellent shot there into the provincial cav. General has broke and run. They're going to form up into a new line, then advance. Which is great, because then it gives my guns just that much longer to try and get some kills, although that would have been a great hit, but the shots just sailed straight over the top. You going, buddy? Oh, they were charging. They were thinking about it. My gun's slightly unproductive right now. In theory, I want them to both aim at this unit because there's so many units packed together. Yeah. There's so many elements all packed together. Whiff, whiff. That was a hit. Retarget this pack. Short. Oh, bad luck. One went straight down the middle. Eventually they are just going to charge us out of frustration. Let's let our artillery continue doing good work. Lots of cavalry on the left. All their infantry is on the right. Bring our cavalry back behind the protection of our Afghan hillmen and our Afghan infantry. Yeah, alright. You might crack into the square, but you won't take it. We're not going to need to charge the cavalry in either. This square's quite bent, it might break. No, it's held them off. Now he's sending their cav in once more. Just engage the enemy infantry to your front. Look at this. Look at these genius maneuvers. Charging cavalry alone into infantry squares. Squares haven't broken yet, and the Afghan infantry's done a good job at holding. This provincial cav unit's not doing very well. It hasn't even buckled the square. Okay, let's ceasefire the arty. Infantry advance. Let's commit my cavalry on the right forward. Infantry, get run. Oops. Nope, definitely you're not shooting, are you? No, you're not. Good. Go on, Bengal Lancers. Let's position. Ready. Hit the regiment of horse. Glorious. Pink-coated cavalrymen. The Royal Raspberries at it again. Our lines in position to start shooting. Get my Bengal Lancers around this cove. The war elephants are having a go at the Buccaneers. Have at you! Good work, elephants. You're going to clatter into that civilian arquebusier. Cavalry charge, and it's going to be so decisive. We don't even need to just get my infantry firing at will. Get my infantry to turn fire at will off. But the provincial cavalry routed through this combat, which is very bad timing. We've pushed them into a bunch, into a bundle. Damn right, we're going to continue. Kill them all. You chaps, halt you're doing. Just farm them for a bit of experience. The war elephants are chasing down these men, but imagine fleeing from battle and there's just damn elephants chasing you. We are whittling them down. When the cav comes up, we'll definitely get them. Nice. Very good. Very, very good. Another way is clear to move on to Punda and secure that territory for our empire. They were nearly slaughtered to a man. Bengal Lancers gaining some experience. A few units gaining experience, actually. Mo experience, mo better. Very good. Chase them over to the next island. Meanwhile, Janil, let's move on to Hector Lancia, defending the town itself. And we will be on the offensive, so we're probably not going to get too much use out of our guns. But that is completely fine. We've got pretty decently scoped army, so ultimately I think we will be fine. If I stay with my guns limbered up, he might let us advance. If I can get up onto this hill, that would be so sweet. Let's do block of 4, musket units, block of 5 musket units, split the cav again, keep my melee troops, all of them in the centre. Hey, there's a spare musket unit, 2 blocks of 5. I mean, this is kind of perfect. If they let us get up here, I will run my infantry because I do want this terrain. Enemy reinforcements are coming in. They're on our left. No, they're not. They're just sat back here. Okay, cool. They're going to be maneuvering around going, oh, look at us, we're so cool, look at our maneuvering. Then my guns are going to unlimber and they're going to go nuts and have to come after us. This could be pretty good. I mean, it'll take a bit of time for our guns to get up. If I could just advance and clear them out anyway. No, I want my guns, damn it. I've paid for them. I'm supporting them. Sustaining them. I want to use my guns. Super nice with the AI, particularly in Empire 2. I didn't really notice it much in Darth Mod if they did it. I don't think they did. But it's pretty nice of them to have infantry just sat back from the line of contact. Okay. Guns coming. I'm going to chop the recording and bring you guys back once the guns are in position. So, see you in a second, everyone. Okay, here we go. The guns are up. Spin them round. Yeah, there they go. They're moving in. Smack those shots into just any cav unit. Excellent first shot. Other good hits on that cav unit. Do have an awful lot of melee troops here. If the enemy does charge their cav up to attack us, we're in pretty good shape. Keep reloading those guns, man. At least they're actually they're not bang on, but at least the sponge is mostly in the barrel. Sometimes you can see them reloading off to one side. Body's holding. Speed up time until the guns are. Watch these units over here. Couple of whiffed shots, 3 whiffed shots, 4 whiffed shots. At least on the right, this team is a bit more successful. Okay, let's speed up time again. Get those guns reloaded, although you're probably going to have to try and both hit. These units, ones on the left, are going to be within musket range imminently. And you guys drop into square. Well, they didn't like that. Oh. Really good hits there. Switch to canister shot. Push my line up. Be in a slightly more threatening position. Move the infantry up on the left to sweep those gunners. Sweep the cavalry with musket fire. Artillery start engaging the enemy infantry line. And the cavalry is going to be in trouble. Philidar Lancers hit the... Nope, they broke. Push forward, men. You haven't been tempted to commit yet. Push down the hill towards them, force them to make a decision. Charge into the back of this unit. There we go, they're already wavering. Nope, hit the Colonial pikemen. Sure, I was about to say, I was going to say this cavalry on the flank is going to be in dire straits, but apparently it is not. Let's kill the general staff just because they're exposed. They're going for my Philidar Lancers. Let's see if they run this direction. Oh, they're wavering. Get the Kizabashi tribesmen in. They've killed their general. Now they must break. Fall back, Lancers. Push forward, men. Pirate mob looking very dicey. Push forward. All my cavalry, form up. We're going to mob this buccaneer unit, then we're going to go over here and mob each of these individual units in turn. Move the infantry up to roughly face off to where the enemy reinforcements, or the enemy, if they survive, the direction they're going to be coming in from. The pistol shots from the Buccaneers are doing good work. But not good enough. A lot of dead Buccaneers. Let's just kill them enough that we think they're shattered and not going to come back. Prevent the bow fire from killing my men too badly. That's enough. Oh, there we go. I thought as much. I thought some units would come back. Artillery, ceasefire. For the most part, though, we are going to now compress time a little bit. Actually, I suppose I don't really need. Fired your volley, push forward. You're not Siladar Lancers, although I better actually check. I can run straight through here. Damn blasted pirate mob, you look great, but you must die. Okay, the civilian arquebusiers have actually left their terrain feature. However, they are now on the move, unprepared to accept our charge. Wheel left, Lancers. Excellent, just mow them down a little bit. That unit on the flank's gone as well. Three units. What I want is to push my flank units forward enough so that they redeploy off of the wall, at which point this Lancer unit can go. These chaps, they're slow-mo jumping the wall. They're screwed. How about you, you devils? There we go. So many dead Dutchmen. Oh, there we go. The territory is secured, and our empire has grown ever so slightly on this day. Hurrah! Hurrah! Excellent. There we go. Garrison is destroyed. Wonder is ours. We're not going to keep this building. Let's get the army replenished. Let's put one unit into the trading port. Get that repaired. So they only really like us because we've got a huge garrison, but it looks like the tiny population is going to be converted within one turn. Done all this. Excellent. That's really good. Can't upgrade the roads. Carsur is about to get light infantry tactics. That's good. Let's hit end turn. Ah, there's the hated British. Okay, we're going to see if we can move by... We've got one turn to run up. They'll deploy, which they can't move from once they've landed for a turn. That gives us a second turn to get up there. I think that works. I think this, yeah, well, this will work. I've not got the ability to deploy troops by sea too close, I don't think. Well, I might be able to get into a port nearby and maintain as much movement as possible rather than running. We don't have metalled roads yet, so my transport network is somewhat neutered. Light infantry tactics. Good. I might actually get you on artillery, perhaps. Maybe even military hospital to try and reduce our casualty rate somewhat. I think that would be a good idea. Okay, Jodhpur. Let's do a Reaver's Cottage. Upgrade our sugar production. Go to magistrates, hop across. There we go. Clear them out. Let's upgrade the sugar plantation. Move a cav unit into Otterbrander. Although I might actually just will build a boat smuggler unit. Oh, that's good. Only worth 200. But, you know, it'll do. Fleet arrives. Question is, I can't reliably get anywhere too exciting. I'm going to have to island hop. We're going to go from here to Bunda to Jamaica. Jamaica to Nassau. Yeah, I don't think I can get there in 2 turns. I can get into Benguela actually.
Your Majesty.
They don't completely block access to the port. So I can get this army aboard ship. First of all, let's move infantry unit out.
आदेश? हाँ कप्तान.
I didn't even send the right unit. Then the right fleet across.
नौका पे चलो. अरे अरे सर.
I might leave them aboard. I might leave them embarked because if they land, they'll be sat here, and I can move in and engage. I don't need to be sat here waiting for them, and it means that I'm a bit more agile if they move elsewhere.
Yes, sir.
Move this force into Satara. We're the naval board in Satara as well. No sense of shame for one of my ministers. Excellent. Okay, let's hit enter.
रुको. आदेश का इंतजार है.
Cool. See, that's exactly what I was thinking about. Will they do that? The answer is yes, they will. This is why I am going to need a few garrison armies to help protect my coast. They will not be able to leave it into the hands of the navy just yet. If I had a decent navy, I could have sailed around and destroyed the fleet and killed everybody aboard before, without needing anybody to actually fight on land. But my dockyard is not yet complete. But still, incremental gains, like we've said before, with India right now, we've got so much money and so little to spend it on. So we are going to have to be somewhat measured what we do. Although here's a few opportunities to spend. Orissa, let's get you a craft workshop. Let's move this army back to the midpoint between Calcutta and Cuttack. Ismabad, Hyderabad. You're just about holding on into staying happy. You might build a magistrate. Help offset the depression. Excellent. Just keep upgrading the government bill. Yeah, I can't get to this port. This is as close as I can get. Isn't ideal. If they go north, that would suck, but we are hot on their tail if that is the direction they're going. Consolidate in Ahmedabad with this handful of units. We'll have to see where they go.
बाईं ओर से आगे बढ़ो
Okay, you guys can
सामने वालों आगे बढ़ो
get aboard ship.
बाईं ओर से आगे बढ़ो
Let's get ready to recruit another boat smuggler, or maybe two. Because this navy is going to land and attack. Well, I say that. Yes, we will. Because it's one of these. One of these is the territory that invasion force is attacking us. So by capturing these territories, we will deny the British any opportunity to try and do that again. But looking at the timer, I believe it's time to end the episode. So, ooh, Garrison Colonial Line. Yes, thank you for watching, guys. Hope you've enjoyed, and we'll see you next time when we attack Port Royal. Cheers, everyone.